Party were intentionally, prolonging the vetting process. They were actually asking the opposition party too many questions. And I think they got upset, and it resulted to chaos, to confrontations, to exchanging of blows. Exactly. So now, you as a social analyst, do you think the vetting process should have caused chaos in the parliament?
It's good morning, viewers at home, and thank you for the opportunity, sir. It's quite sad that honorable members of the parliament who should conduct themselves and their businesses, or their lawful businesses in a legitimate way, acted in such an ignoble manner. Now, the fact is that they were performing their lawful schedule of official duties ascribed to them by the law. They have to understand the fact.
Which is the vetting process, right?
Exactly. The vetting process is a process or an assignment ascribed to them by the law. Now, and in the performance of such legitimate duty, I don't think there should be hiccups, or there should be confrontations, or there should be there should be fight
or chaos.
Now, because what the opposition party was doing is the lawful, the statutory, is performance of their statutory duty. They wanted to ensure that right hands, right people are appointed by the government. We have seen situations whereby we have even people in political offices that cannot express themselves, that cannot even pronounce, monetary figures.
Yeah.
We have seen situations whereby some of them cannot even address, some parliamentarians in this country cannot even address the parliament. They cannot even move a motion successfully. There was a situation like that of recent, that even a representative of one of the states, even in the southwest, could not even express himself, which is so shameful. So I believe what the opposition party in Ghana was trying to do is to ensure that those who are going to occupy position of leadership should be people of high intellect, people of good character, and people who have the know-how and who have the courage to even speak up about things that they want to do. So I don't think such should have created the chaotic and embarrassing scene that we saw.
Now, do you think they fought in the parliament? These are people that citizens, so many people are actually looking up to. They are role models. They were meant to be role models, right? Now, don't you think there should be a severe, penalties, for anyone, who dares to cause chaos in the National House Assembly?
Sir, I want to start by answering your question by saying that such ignoble act or chaotic act in the National Assembly or in the Parliament is contempt of the Parliament. We have always heard of contempt of court, but in this case, is contempt of the Parliament.
Because there should be
a courrier facet. That is to say, in the face, in the presence of the Parliament. And such should be rebuked, such should be punished, and the perpetrators should be reprimanded, because they are setting a bad precedent, and they are conducting themselves in manner that is really absurd. What manner are they teaching the children? What manner are they teaching their constituents? What manner are they teaching the people?
The citizens
they are representing. Now, whether 2 fighting or 4 fighting or whatever fighting, you understand? Whatever they have done, they are is an ignoble act, and it is an embarrassment to their nation. It's an embarrassment to the parliament, and it's an embarrassment to even their own self. Rights were violated, the constitution was violated, the criminal code of the country, the criminal laws of the country was violated. They should be punished lawfully, and they should be made an example to others, so that such act people will desist from.
Now, coming to our dear country, Nigeria, the House of Representatives, also called the Great Chamber, is the lower chamber of Nigeria, Nigeria's bicameral National Assembly. The Senate is the upper chamber. The Great Chamber, which is the House of Representatives, has about 360 members, who are elected in single-member constituencies. Now, do you think that our parliament members here in Nigeria, our parliament members, do you think they are doing well in representing their various constituencies?
Well, while I will say some are trying their best, well, if I want to mention names, I'll mention the like of Bamde Salam, here representing one of the constituencies in Osun State. So we have seen fantastic, representation. They represent their people, and they made it clearly known that they are accountable to the people. But most other parliamentarians in Nigeria are not doing well. Why? I'm not a politician, okay, and I'm not canvassing for a political party. Yet, we have to hit the nail and state that the beautiful ones are yet to be born in Nigeria's parliament. Most of our representatives see themselves as lords instead of servants. They are not giving back to the constituents or the communities that have sent them to represent them. That's why you see a lot of them, out of their selfish interest, cross-carpeting, that they will come into the office through a political party, and along the line, in order to keep their selfish interest growing, you see them moving or cross-carpeting to another party without anybody questioning them. Now, if it were to be in an accountable society, they have to first consult with their people, perhaps organize town hall meetings, and arrive at conclusions with their people that it is my people that have asked me, the people that I represent, that have asked me to cross-carpet. You understand? Because their political interests or their interests are not met in the other party. But where they see themselves as lords, most of them are even paid constituency allowance, and if you ask them, can you even ask them? You don't even have access to them. Yeah. How are we going to claim that we have representatives when we cannot even access them? The beauty of representative government, you understand, or representation in government, is for the represented to be carried along. Their opinion should be sought, their interests should be fought for, and their expectation should be met. But when all these things are not met, in fact, we can even on our own, we can see that most of these expectations are not met. Some of these parliamentarians, even when they are recruiting, when they are giving slots, you understand, ask them, they cannot even account for how, you understand. And apart from that, what of basic amenities, what of other projects that they are supposed to see them? Only a few of them. And it's so sad that we have found ourselves in this kind of in this kind of position, because when we have leaders who are not accountable to us, then they are not our leaders. They are not fit to be our leaders.
Now, what exactly do you think these people, I mean the parliamentary leaders, the members, what exactly do you think they're not doing right?
Honestly, they are not giving back to the society the ways and manner they're supposed to give back. Number two, they are not yet accountable to their people. Like I have said earlier, representation in government requires accountability. Transparency and accountability. And they are yet to be performing these their statutory duties. Because the statutory duty is a constitutionally given role. And they are supposed to. And not until we get to the point where they give back, where they are transferred to their representatives, their constituents, and give back to the community, we are yet to get there. And that's just my position. That's just my submissions.
Okay. Well, if you are just joining us, what we've been talking about is the lawmakers, that actually exchanged blows and they got suspended. That's what we've been talking about. I mean, they got suspended because they are not living up to expectation. These are people that citizens are actually looking up to. They're supposed to be role models. Imagine role models fighting in the National House of Assembly. People that are supposed to be representing, the publics. People that are supposed to be representing the citizens, fighting, and they got suspended. So our guest, Dr. Badiru, Yemi Badiru, he's been doing justice to this topic. Exactly. Well, Dr. Yemi Badiru,
Yes, sir.
we've talked about, the role of parliament, members and leaders, things that they are not doing right. In what way do you think, as a social, you're not a politician, yes, but as a social analyst, in what way do you think these people, the members of the parliament, the leadership of the parliament, in what way do you think they can do better? Or what do you think they should do better?
Honestly, the parliamentarians in Nigeria have an ample opportunity to do better. Number one, by living within the ambit of our law, or let me put it this way, by acting within the ambit of our laws, because we have good laws that have been made for the good, for the well-being of the common masses. Now, they are expected to perform their statutory functions within the ambit of law. One. Number two, they should act, in the interest, overall interest of the community that sent them. And number three, they should be transparent to us, both financially, and they should execute projects that touches the lives of the common masses. Then another one is that the laws they are making, because their primary duty is lawmaking, the laws they will make, or they are making, or they are proposing to make, should be laws that will lift millions of common masses out of poverty. Not laws that will destroy more lives.
Policies.
Not policies or laws that will relegate
The common masses.
the common masses to pauperity. Now, and apart from that, they should be more accountable to their people. Periodically, they should have an interface with their people, and they should also hold town hall meetings, expect feedbacks, let people judge their conduct. Let people judge their performances. They shouldn't assume that all is well. They should give people the opportunity of telling them whether it is well or not well.
Yeah.
They shouldn't assume for the lead. So there are a lot to do, and they should make themselves accessible to their constituents. Honestly, you are not a good representative when you cannot be assessed. I do tell people, I want to see my pastor, and my pastor is not accessible. He's not a pastor to me. A member of church is sick and at the hospital for months, and the pastor cannot visit him in the hospital. He's not a pastor. Because he is, as a leader over his people, he should be accessible. Unfortunately, that is a sad situation in our country now, that many of these people, many of our leaders are inaccessible. No, a leader should be accessible. Either at the senatorial district, or what do we call it, or his constituents, or in his office. There was a time I wanted to see maybe a lawmaker representing a constituent. I'm not talking of more than a decade. You understand? And I got to the what do we call it, 3 Square, in the National Assembly, and I was told, no, you cannot see. You cannot see, you cannot enter, you cannot this.
Do you have an appointment? That's the kind of questions they will ask.
They didn't allow me. And I began to think, what is the man doing here? I have sponsored him to come here with my vote. What is he doing here? He cannot be assessed by me, one of his constituents. So if these people will truly believe, as in will truly represent us well, then they should be accessible. Let them ask us questions. Let us ask them questions. And by the time we have dialogues, then our society will become better. And I think those are the areas they should improve.
I'm talking about assessing. Most of these leaders, I think, they feel that, okay, if they are allowed to be able to assess them, maybe most people will come begging for one thing or the other.
Let them beg. There is no way you can lead without being begged. There is no way you can represent people without being begged. Part of those who voted them into the office are poor people who have no means to feed themselves. Some of them went hungry. Some of them were hungry on the day they cast their vote. Some people did not eat throughout that day. They don't even have an idea of what they will eat the next day. Yet they painstakingly went out to exercise their franchise, and they voted these representatives in. So if such people come and beg, they have right to beg, and you have a duty to accommodate them. Because in every society, there are 2 sets of people we see on a daily basis, or 3 sets of people. They are either those who have won a battle, or those who have lost a battle, or those who are fighting a battle. This is what I mean. They are either those who are successful, as in who are rich, or those who are poor, or those who are still struggling to make it. And that's why you see the unemployed people, they say some Kobe, say, please, we have applied, help us. And see some say, no, we already are gainfully employed. But irrespective of the category of people that will come to you as a leader, you shouldn't run away from their from their needs.
All right. Fún àwọn èèyàn wa tó ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ lé tí wọn kò gbọ́ fitting èdè tí à ń wé, ohun tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa náà ni wípé àwọn aṣòfin wa nílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà, ṣé wọ́n ń ṣe ohun tí ó bójúmu, ṣé wọ́n ń ṣe ohun tó tọ́, ṣé wọ́n ń ṣe ohun tó máa gbé àwa tí a dìbò fún wọn ṣé wọ́n ṣe ohun tó máa gbé wa lárugẹ, ṣé wọ́n múnú àwọn tó dìbò fún wọn ṣé wọ́n múnú wọn dùn, ṣé ṣe pé ìjà mọ́kànlọ́ ń jà ń bẹ àbí ṣe mọ́kànlọ́ ń ṣe nǹkan tó wù wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀. Ohun tí a ti ń sọ láti àárọ̀ nìyẹn. A sì ti pé bàbá wa dókítà Yẹmí Bádírù láti bá wa sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ wọ̀nyí. Àwọn sì ló ti ń bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ láti àárọ̀. Dókítà Yẹmí Bádírù, mo kò fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ sọ fún àwọn èèyàn tó ń bẹ nílé ní èdè àbínibí wa. Àwọn aṣòfin wa tó ń bẹ ní ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà, ṣé wọ́n ń ṣe ohun tí ó tọ́, ṣé wọ́n ń ṣe ohun tí àwọn ará ìlú gangan fẹ́, àbí nǹkan tó kàn wọ àwọn náà kàn ṣe ń bẹ̀? Àwọn òfin tó ń gbé kalẹ̀, ṣé àwọn òfin wọ̀nyí ṣé ó ń ṣe ará ìlú lóore, àbí àwọn òfin tó ń pa àwọn ará ìlú lára, àti pé kí ni wọ́n lè ṣe láti múnú àwọn ará ìlú dùn?
Ẹ ṣe olóòtú, ẹ káàárọ̀ ẹ̀yin ará ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi àkókò ìsọ wípé àwọn aṣòfin wa wọ́n jẹ́ àwọn tí a yàn láti ṣojú wa. Ohun gbogbo tí wọ́n bá sì ń ṣe tàbí ohun tí wọ́n ń ṣe ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ohun tó jẹ́ wípé àwa aráàlú fẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe, kì í ṣe àwọn nǹkan tí àwọn fẹ́ láti ṣe. Tó bá yẹ pé nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ láti ṣe ni, yẹn dàbí ìmọ̀tara ẹni nìkan. Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àti wípé ẹgbẹẹgbẹ̀rún àwọn èèyàn ló fà wọ́n kalẹ̀. Àwọn tó sì fà wọ́n kalẹ̀ jẹ́ àwọn tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n ń wo ojú wọn láti ṣe bó ti tọ́ àti láti ṣojú wọn dáadáa. Kí n wá padà síbi ìbéèrè tẹ́ béèrè lóòtú. Àwọn èèyàn yìí, àwọn aṣojú wa yìí lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, àwọn tó ń ṣojú wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, wọn ò ṣe dáadáa tó. Nítorí pé tá a bá wò dáadáa, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ òfin tí wọ́n ń ṣe ló jẹ́ wípé kì í ṣe àwọn òfin tó jẹ́ wípé ó ṣe aráàlú láǹfààní. Ní tí wọ́n ń pè ní ìṣojú fún ìyàn wípé ẹ lọ ṣojú mi láti mú mi kúrò nínú ìdààmú tí mo wà. Tẹ́ bá rí àwọn tó ń pè ní amòfin, lawyers, tí a bá gba lọ́yà wọ́n lọ ṣojú ẹni tó gbà wọ́n ni. Tẹ́ bá lọ́yà ni àwa ó darapọ̀, ó máa sọ̀rọ̀ bí ẹni wípé ẹni yẹn òun gangan ni wọ́n ṣe ìtún ọ̀ṣẹ̀ sẹ́ni yẹn fún. A máa ní ìwà tẹ́ wù sí wa kò dáa. Kò sọ yí pé ìwà tẹ́ wù sí èèyàn mi kò dáa, ìwà tẹ́ wù sí wa kò dáa. Àwa sọ wípé báyìí ló ṣe yẹ kó rí ìyẹn tó fi sọ ni. Ìṣojú fún ni èèyàn máa ń gba bùkátà àwọn tí èèyàn ṣojú fún ni. Èèyàn wà mú ìdààmú wọn ní ìbàdà, yóò wà mọ̀ sánà náà bí wọ́n sì yọ kúrò nínú ìdààmú. Nítorí káwọn aṣojú wa máa ṣe nu. Àwọn tá à ń rí tó ń ṣe, àwọn aṣojú wa ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ó jẹ́ pé ó nira láti fojú rí àti báwọn dọ́rọ̀ pọ̀ dàbí dọ́wẹ̀ kẹ́gbẹ́ kò rọrùn.
Wọ́n ṣe é rí.
Mélòó nínú wọn ló padà wálé láti lọ bèrè pé bóyá bàtà tí ń ta àwọn aráàlú lẹ́sẹ̀? Mélòó nínú wọn ló jẹ́ pé owó tí wọ́n fún wọn láti tún àdúgbò wọn ṣe wọ́n ń lò ó? Mélòó nínú wọn ṣé tábà ti yàn wọn kán ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọkọ lọ́wọ́ pé ó di pé wọ́n bu ìyẹ̀pẹ̀ ilé ìdíwọ́, ó di pé wọ́n da ará Àbújá nù àbá aráàlú ọ̀hún. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Èyí tó ń pè ní ìṣojúfúnni ni wípé mo lọ láti fi ẹ̀hónú yín hàn, láti yọ yín kúrò tàbí láti ràn yín lọ́wọ́ láti jẹ́ kó dára fún yín ju bí ẹ ṣe wà tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ.
Ẹ ṣé gan dókítà wa, ẹ ṣé gan dókítà wa. Well, we won't be able to go further than this, due to our time constraint. Firstly, I have to appreciate our guest, Dr. Yẹmí Bádírù, a social analyst, for making out time out of his busy schedules, to be on our program today. I say thank you, Dr. Yempadu.
You're welcome, sir.
Exactly. And also, I want to appreciate people behind the success of this program. I mean, from the cameraman and our producer Shola Obuleye, and also supervising producer Adesoye Awodeji, and our executive producer Adiola Adebayo. I say thank you for making sure that this program is a success. Well, I still remain your host, Abayomi Adeyemi, and for now, I'll say good morning.
Manchester United is a red letter day, and so who adds today to this game's inexhaustible back catalogue of treasured memories? By Ericsson, and United can look forward, and he's rolled it up here to Marcus Rashford. Rashford eyeball to eyeball with White. It's Rashford! It's a gem! He has smashed it!
Belongs out there, the rest of them are looked in the shell until that moment.
Zinchenko, Nketiah, Martinelli. Sweet touch, Casemiro's pass, and Garnacho's on his way here. Alejandro Garnacho! Steal! Garnacho is Saka takes. For 2 hours, nothing else matters. A Sunday morning of tranquility on the streets of North London has given way to tumult. Enter the two tribes. Arsenal Spurs, a deluxe edition. Elite, each unbeaten, scored as well. Together here.